Hunter.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin. I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown!
Good evening. I slightly feel undead. How about you?
Something like that.
But it's March. March 477, 2020. No, I'm just kidding. How are you all this fine spring evening? Well, springish here. Anyway.
It's not spring.
It was nice today. We're going to go with that.
Hi, everybody. So it's been a while since we did one of these little
Shenanigans?
chit-chat shows.
Oh, yeah, that.
January 19th, in fact.
Ugh!
Was the last time we did one of these. So we have other stuff going on. Top hundreds and things and stuff. So, how's everybody doing?
Good to see y'all popping into the chat.
I like how there's a big void behind us.
The void that is the Feldfest.
Yes, we're trying to play most of the Felds we haven't played in ages. Is kind of what we're doing right now. There's how many down there at the end of the table?
Well, we knocked out
9?
a few. Yeah, we knocked out a couple.
9 more
already.
to go, and we'll have played every Feld within the last year. So,
Yeah.
as soon as we knock all those out.
Yeah, but we have a few. Just a few.
Few. All right, so we got first thing. We always start off the show with. I got a cool new little thing. I don't know where all the buttons are yet.
Yay! Yeah, Brock, that's how we were too. You muted me.
Yes, I did.
You muted me. I was talking to Brock. He distracted me.
Oh, sorry. What did Brock say?
Brock was talking about it's like in the 60s, and I was like, yes, it was here today too, and it was beautiful. Beautiful.
All right. So how many games have we played since then?
Not as many as you'd think, but more than I was expecting. I like half of you as much.
20 games since last we talked? And several of these we played multiple times.
That's true. Okay, I was going to say now. Hold up before you guys are like, oh, only 20. No, it's more like 40, because we played probably at least 2 games of just about every
almost
single
every
one of these.
game. Oh, no. Several.
Most.
A good chunk of the games we played. No, I wouldn't say most. A good number of the games we played more than once. It's been
More
our
than
thing.
half.
We've been playing all the games, all the big games twice, for whatever reason. So, I think it's her rubbing off on me or something. I don't know. And I'm running out of new games to play, so.
Aw, he's desperate. He's got to replay some games. His life is so hard.
As always, we start from worst to best, but before we start, I'm going to talk about one game, because I'm not rating it yet.
Oh.
Because we're not done with the game yet.
Dun, dun, dun!
So we played another game of Pandemic Legacy, Season 0. What I was going to say is, we were playing this just before the ice apocalypse happened in Texas. And so we didn't feel like playing Pandemic for whatever reason.
We're kind of over the whole pandemic. It's nothing to do against the game. Just
So
the
we
name
only got one
and
play
its
in, and we haven't
associations.
played it in a while, but we'll finish it out here.
PTSD's a
Here
thing, people.
soon, we'll finish this out. I think we're on
Halfway through the year.
August, July, somewhere.
Yeah, we're in the summer.
somewhere in there of the
Yes.
year.
Yes.
So we're not going to rate it
Yes.
yet. I'm reserving judgment till the end. I would say it's running about a 9 right now. So really good.
About a 9.
About a 9 right now. We'll see how it finishes up.
It is a Feld of Dreams, Xeris. I will allow such punnage.
All right, we're going to start off with the game I like the least of the ones we played since last we talked.
Oh, which shall this be?
In fact, we played this on January 19th. That show, we played it live. So it still counts.
Oh.
And that is Uncle Wiggily.
With my Care Bear sticker.
Which
firmly
I
attached
rated
from
a 2.
the early 80s.
A 2. I only rated a 2 and not a 1 because Rebecca has fond memories of it. So it gets
How
a
dare
2
you,
instead
sir.
of a 1.
How dare you, sir? This lovely piece of nostalgia clearly...
It's not even a roll a move. It's a draw a card and do what it says.
It's a draw a card and move. It's a step up from roll
No, it's
and
not,
move.
because roll and usually have some randomness.
So do the cards. You shuffle them.
This game
I feel attacked.
is horrible! Horrible!
It's a classic. Okay, I am
Horrible.
emailing Justin at Restoration Games. Who's with me? Uncle Wiggly remake.
Nobody.
Uncle...
Nobody.
Everybody's
It's
with me.
horrible.
Come on. Can you imagine if they redid this game, how amazing it would be? Yes, please.
Throw some miniatures in, do some card-driven combat, make some area control, and,
Uncle Wiggly
and create a game that has nothing to do with
fluffy
Uncle Wiggly.
tail. What?
It's a horrible game. It is just, yeah.
Okay, maybe.
It's barely...
I'm saying, though.
I think it's almost a step down from Candyland.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I think it's a step
That game is so
down
obnoxious.
from Candyland.
This at least has hilarious
Candyland,
characters.
you have,
Candyland is obnoxious. And do you remember putting together the little trail?
But this one you have to read a card to move in. Blah, 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 move 5 spaces.
Yeah, but you at least get a stupid laugh out of their names. In
Okay.
Candyland, you're like, please, how soon do I die? Kill me.
Let's move on.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move on
Okay.
to my note. So that was 18.
Call me Justin.
That was 18. Because we got 20
Uncle Wiggly.
games. Legacy doesn't count, and Rebecca played one without me. So we're 20 games, but that was my number 18. Number 17. We played this one live, too, on January 19th. Apparently, I picked some crappy games to play that night. And that is Fruit Punch.
That is an amazing game, and I will gladly punch you again in the future. I mean, gladly play this game with you again. Something.
Fruit Punch.
Technical
So I gave it a
difficulty.
6 because it's somewhat fun. I mean, it's interesting.
What?
It's interesting.
What's not fun about this game?
All right, then you talk about it. I
You
give it
slap people.
No, you don't
to
slap
get to,
people.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the process of getting to a squeaky banana that instantly gets your dog irate as you try to match fruit and count to 5 at the same time. Multitasking mania.
All it is a speed game.
It's
It's
fantastic.
a flat out
It's a speed game, and you might accidentally punch people.
You do end up getting injured.
It ends up being full contact by the end of the game. I'm pretty sure we got more and
The
progressively
only reason I didn't get
more
a
aggressive
5
every time.
instead of a 6
Dude, what?
is
I
it
thought you said
actually
was a-
comes with a squeaky banana.
And the dog is hyperactive in 3, 2,
That's
1.
that gave it a point right
Oh,
there.
she's tired. She's getting old.
Anyway,
Dude.
it's all right.
I'm just
I
saying.
cannot imagine we played this with like 5 or 6 people.
Yes, we have.
And it was just like a pain fest. Because I think we switched from bopping to grabbing because so many people were getting injured.
You're just supposed to go for it with the flat hand so that if you get smashed, it doesn't hurt as bad. I've told you the tactic. I also have brutish hands and can rarely injure them. So there you go.
All right.
Just saying.
Can we go on? Can we get to some good games? All right. So 16.
What? That is a glorious game.
My number 16. This is a great family game. Not a game for me, but I mean, it's okay. It's all you kids. And that is, no. Kung Fu Zoo.
Oh, where'd it go?
We didn't order these. There's a big giant stack of
Yeah.
games. So Nessa loves this game. I enjoy playing it with her.
It's a hoot.
But it's
This
not
game's a
something
hoot.
I'd probably want to play.
Tis a
If it was, if I was given my druthers.
Oh, look at you and your 50-cent words tonight. You know what I'm saying? This game is a hoot. Almost as exciting as that game, Gladiators in an Arena.
Strike.
No, it's Gladiators in an Arena.
Strike.
It's Strike.
It's Strike with superpowers.
Yes, with animals, okay? Yes, there's a violent theme. Apparently, Hunter's a pacifist because these are on the bottom of the list, Xeris.
Yes.
Very disappointed.
I like
I would raise these
taking
higher.
control of companies, not injuring people.
Coralu, you're a genius!
What?
Combo the fruit with an UgTech game.
How?
You finish your building first and you smack the banana.
Oh my gosh. So Kung Fu Zoo, we'll
I
show it
can
off
work
real
on
quick.
that. I can work with this.
I think we played. Did we play this live?
I should be
I
helping.
think we demoed it
with
live, so I'm not going to go
restoration
too far in
games
it.
at this point,
But it's just a little arena. You have a little arena, a little board. You throw the dice like in Strike, and you're trying to knock the opponent's dice in the little holes.
It's so much fun. And the animals all have unique dice, and they have unique abilities. Like the gorilla have black and white dice, and he's got special abilities. And the zebra's white and black dice. It's really cute.
And it's all right.
Hunter's just saying that because he's already played himself out. He's played like 30 games of this now.
All right.
It's a blast.
Let's move on.
It's a hoot.
My number 16.
It's a hoot.
Where's my number 16? No, it was number 16. I
am
gave it
much
a
more
6 as
attacking,
well.
Oddly enough.
My number 15. I give this a 6 as well. Probably be a little bit lower, but it has some nostalgia involved. Yes.
Okay.
This is Shazam. This is another,
Shazam!
this is another game we played live. In fact, I
We
think
played it live a couple times, I think. Maybe.
it's just a
Total take that
tug of war game.
nonsense.
That's what we call it, tug of war game. It's
Total
just two
take
mages on a bridge. You're casting spells. You're trying to knock the other mage off the bridge. It's all about resource management. You have a mana pool, and you're kind of bidding to how much mana you're going to play and pay for the round.
Oh, you
That's
pay
your
on it.
strength, and then you can potentially play spell cards that would adjust that number. and it's hidden selection of the spells and hidden.
No,
hidden,
it's not. It's not hidden. Apparently, I must spell it out on my forehead. He reads me like a book.
Hidden selection
Reads my
of
mind.
the mana, and you basically see who wins each round. Eventually, someone's going to get hit by this firewall. You're pushing this firewall back and forth. You get hit by the firewall, you back up, and eventually back up, and you fall off the bridge. So,
and Hunter psyched me out throughout the entire game. It was ridiculous. Not cool.
So
not cool. I demand a rematch at some point.
This was a gift by Z Garcia. He had a pile of games he was throwing in the garbage and says, you can have one of them. And this is the one we got.
Woo! And we attacked.
All right. Let's move on.
Zion!
Let's move on. Let's move on.
That was such a ridiculous
My
game.
number
I cannot believe how much I got
14,
beat
we
for
talked
it.
about this at length last time, I believe. But we're talking about it one more time. In fact, we played this one live too, I believe. Drone Home.
Yes, to the detriment of many ears.
We played this many times since last we spoke, and like I said, we played it live. So watch that last time. Was it last time we played it live? Pretty sure it was last time. Maybe the time before. I don't know.
I don't know what I ate for lunch today. We're
At
good.
some point, we played it live, and recently, in fact, you guys
We're getting senile help.
It's just
What do we do again?
It's a crazy, wacky speed game where you're shooting little alien guys into a drone, and then they launch the
I'm
little,
surprised you like this so much because it's very attacky.
the little drone launches into space. I don't like it that much. It's way down the bottom of my list.
Yeah, because you can't win.
I've won this game. I've played this game probably 40 times. I've won once.
It was because I wasn't in the
And
game.
she wasn't even playing. I beat the kids one time. I am horrible at this game. Anyway. So I'm not going to go talk too much about it.
It's a great game. It's totally worth it.
Alright, so my number 13 is...
I am almost
It's right
undefeated.
there on top.
This one?
Yep, I give this...
I like how you changed the subject so quickly.
So we're in the 7s now. Drone Home was a 7. This is 7 as well. Sorrow, we've played this
Many a time.
many times.
I've taught many students.
Nessa... Did Nessa pick this to play?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so we played it with Nessa.
Yep.
And who won? Oh, it might have been me. I don't know. But yeah, Sorrow, it's just a tile placement game. You have your little dragon. You have a little tokens. They're supposed to be dragons, I guess, flying around.
Yeah, they do. They have little symbol thingies on them. They have little dragons.
So you have these little
They're so
token that you have on the board.
That's awesome.
And you're laying tiles and you're
Any
following paths as you
Kinda
lay
stupid.
the tile. And if you end up going off the board or running into another player, you're eliminated. Last person standing wins. So there you go. Now you know everything about Tesoro.
It's so much fun.
It's a fun game. It's a fun little family game.
So much fun.
I've never played the, there's like a more advanced version, Tesoro of the Seas. Or
Yeah,
something
Sorrow of the Seas.
Yeah,
And
Tesoro. I
there's...
said Tesoro. I'm funny.
Um,
I never played it, so I can't talk about that. But
Yeah.
this is a quick little 15-minute filler game. There you go.
it's awesome.
We're going to talk at length about the bigger games, and there's a ton of them, so I'm kind of whizzing through the
Yeah, I see it.
lower games.
See how it is.
All right, so that's number 13. I gave it a 7, Sorrow. Number 12. Where's number 12? 12 is a Feld game.
Oh. What is wrong with you?
I give this one a 7 as well. La Isla.
This game is greatness. I don't know what
We
you're doing.
We started up our Feld Fest, as we said just a little bit ago.
Getting the garbage out of the way.
We
Apparently.
played a couple. Yeah, this is not. Yeah, we played a couple. We played a couple of.
Hot takes. Hunter
We
Thomason.
played a couple of Feld games, starting our little Feld Fuss. This is one of them. This is probably, if not my, of the Felds we still own.
Ooh, spicy.
This is probably my least favorite. Of the one.
But Hunter, they say, I thought you were collecting Felds. Does that mean you don't own one of them anymore?
We got rid of several Feld games that were really bad.
I'm glad I'm sitting down. How about you?
Revolution 1828.
Yeah, I know it doesn't
that was a
count. That's not
horrible
a game. No, it was
Anyway, so Lisa, this is a light little, probably almost family weight Feld game. It's probably maybe a hair above family weight, but it's pretty light. Gamer family weight Feld game. It's just kind of an area control type game. You're doing card placement. You draw some cards. You're placing them down to activate them. They're kind of multi-use cards. One of the cards is going to be for a superpower. One's going to give you a resource, and one's going to decide which animal you're moving up a track. There's a track of 5 or 6 different animals. You're moving up a track, which increases the points value of those animals. You're collecting the animals from the board, and there you go.
I enjoy it.
It's okay. If you're looking for a light,
This is
breezy
This is
Feld
the
game.
closest to a light Feld you're ever gonna get.
This is the lightest
And-
Feld we've played.
That 18 whatever it was light because it was just
That's
some
true.
slapping
Let
each other in
me
the
phrase
face.
that. This is the lightest Feld we still own.
This is the lightest Feld we like.
Yes.
The I Why you gotta hate on La Islas, man?
Then talk about it. You love it so much. Yeah.
Well, you already told us about it. It's like, yeah, there's this easy game. It sucks. Okay, next. And I'm like, oh. But no, it's fun because you got multi-purpose cards.
Right.
You didn't even mention the nice little...
I did. I explained the multi-purpose
But with
card.
the phases, you get to choose, and there's this nice little agony of, like, sometimes you'll get dealt some cards that combo off each other well, depending on where you put them in there. And you only have a set of 3... that have special abilities that will fire off every round, potentially. So you're always going to be covering one of them up. So you got to choose. There's some choices and some fun stuff in there, and what you try to go for, and a little bit of area control-ish, and sniping animals from other players. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's fun.
She likes it a lot more than I do.
I like it. I think it's one of those... This would not be a non-gamer game. I would say new gamers. I would say
because
this is a welcoming Feld.
It's got multi-use cards. It's got area control. It's got
enough that a non-gamer.
It's got
would be a little
It's got
overwhelmed.
symbols. Yeah, there's several the superpowers. There's probably 25 or 30 different superpowers for a gamer. It's very simplistic in terms of I understand how these all work, but it might blow the mind of someone who hasn't played a game like this. So
like 5 of them are going to be like, if you this emblem, you get an extra cube. If you use that next type of emblem, you get it. Like they're all the same for each type. So there's a bunch of similar ones, but for someone who's never gamed before, you're just like, it's all gobbledygook.
Since we're asking about it, I'll show it real quick. Because just to give you an idea, I'm not showing off the components. I want to show off the
Look at these beautiful cubes.
Where's the player guides?
The
player sheets. Here
right
they
here.
are.
You talking about the cheat sheets?
Yeah, those are German. Where's the other one?
No, it's German on one side, I thought. Yeah, it's German.
No, there's several.
Oh no, it's German on one side and French on the other.
Let's see if you can see that. See, there's all the different symbols in the game, and that's probably a little bit much for a non-gamer to deal with. So
again, new gamers, it's got a cheat sheet. So you just once you go through it with everybody, then you give them that reference guide. You're good to go, right?
No, it's not a super light. I consider it a light game, but I wouldn't. It's not like a super light game. It's
Zeros, we won't ban you.
What?
He says, apparently I've never played a Feld game according to BGG. I think I'm about to get banned.
Whatever. People like different things.
Yep.
All right, let's move on.
Allow it.
All right, my number 11, also a 7, is compatibility. We actually probably played this one further back than the last time we spoke, but we didn't speak about it. So I just wanted to mention that we played this with the whole family, her parents, us, and Katie and Nessa. We all played together. We were on teams. The grandparents were a team. We were a team, and the girls were a team.
They made a pretty surprisingly funny team.
It was pretty interesting.
It was funny.
All it is you pick a topic like danger, and then you have a deck of cards that have pictures and words and things in it. You pick your top 5 cards out of that deck that represent that thing, and then you compare with your partner. If you match up, you get points. And it's a fun little thing. It's interesting to see who around the table, even if you're not teams, it's interesting to see who around the table you're matching with and stuff.
Inevitably, because of the conversations as we're flipping over the cards and talking about who got what, there's always a running gag. We always end up with 1 or 2 cards that is like the running gag card for the game.
It's usually the little kid, sad kid.
Or that goofy-looking old man.
The old man with the...
I can't wait. I'm going to revamp this. It's one of my projects that I want to work on this spring. Make it fit for my Latin classroom. We're going to do a Latin compatibility. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, anyway, so we've played this one live
totally
as well several times. So
it's fantastic.
There you go. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's a good one. It's a fun little family game.
Super fun.
It's been around forever. Forever. All right, that was my number. What was that? My number 11?
I don't know.
My number 10. We're up to the 8s now. The bottom part of the 8s. Nope. You played that by yourself. I'm not,
you're not even ranking.
I'm not. I don't rate games I didn't play.
Oh.
Number 10. We played this live twice.
We did
during Valentine's Day.
Oh, that. Oh, it's on the bottom. Boo.
Twice during Valentine's Day. Watched that live show. We played Fog of Love live twice.
And apparently, according to you, we have to play it again soon.
Why?
Because I didn't quite get all
of it. Someone said that she didn't quite understand the plot line until the very end, and then it's like, we gotta play it again. So watch that. There's 2 shows. One is kind of the preamble, and the other one is the actual kind of the real deal. We played Paranormal Romance.
It was weird.
It was weird.
It's very weird.
I enjoy this game. It's fun. It's a great
so goofy.
couples game. As long as you can step back and play a role.
Do not project.
And do not play it as yourself. In fact, it warns you several times in the rules that you are taking on a character, you're playing a character, you're not answering as you would answer. But it's adult themed. It's about relationships, so there's relationship style questions. So it's not.
And it's stupid soap opera level drama too. Like it.
I saw us texting your phone. What do I do about it?
Dun dun dun! I secretly had brain surgery. It is that level of craziness. Like you'd.
It's
see
fun. We enjoy it. We play it.
But...
I'm probably gonna order another expansion, and we'll play it again live at some point. It's fun. All right, let's move on to my number 9. This one's dropped. It used to be a 9, now it's an 8. I'm losing a little love for this game.
What?
And that's Power Grid.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this. Okay.
Power Grid. So we played Power Grid. One of the things we've been doing as of late, we're doing lots of things, trying to find to mix in different games to play. We've been playing games we haven't played in like forever. Is one of the themes, the things we're playing lately. Power Grid, we haven't played Power Grid in, I don't even remember the last time. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, last time we played Power Grid. We played it again. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I
enjoyed it too.
I've come to believe that playing this 2-player, not so good.
Yeah.
Because I got kind of a jump start early in the game, and I just trucked on to the win.
There's a runaway leader problem, 2-player.
She didn't have any chance to stop me.
And I wasn't a slouch. That was the thing. I was building and powering at least 2 cities after that. A turn. I just had that. He got that one break. Couldn't catch him.
So if you have more players, you can kind of block the person off and kind of crowd them and things like that.
Bigger dynamic with the resources.
It's very difficult to do that 2-player.
Yeah.
You can't hog, like if one person's really far, you can kind of all buy up the resources they need to push up the prices and things like that. You just don't have enough ammunition to be able to do that with just one other player.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. It's an awesome game.
It's a good game.
It's a great auction, area control, resource management, budgeting, efficiency, all that stuff you have in your games. It's a good one, but I don't know if I'll play this 2-player ever again.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be probably, I want to say even 4+ for this game.
I don't know. I think 3 would even change the
I'll try it 3, but 2-player.
Oh, Xeris, if we ever all get together, man, bring the Power Grid, or we'll bring the Power Grid.
This thing has been retired. On the back of the box it says 2 to 6 players. Now it says 3 to 6 players.
Did you get a marker out and write on it?
I should get a marker
out. That would be so funny.
I just realized in our new setup, our lights are kind of blocked, so it's kind of got a dark, like, homey feel to the
It's comfy. Welcome to our house.
Rebecca's got like a good light, and I got like kind of a dark
I know. I just have my own glow because I'm so pasty.
Anyway, we tried a different setup.
I need to get out more.
We need to adjust it a little bit. Anyway, Power Grid. I enjoy it again, but not for 2 players. That's why it dropped. It used to be a 9, now it's an 8.
Coraloo, no.
What?
Power Grid, 2 people play 2 colors each.
Oof.
Your brain would probably melt.
Oof, that's a lot of math.
It's a lot of math.
That's a lot of math for one person.
If you're feeling very mathy that day, sure.
Let's move on to
Don't make any plans afterwards.
Another feld that's towards the bottom of my favorites. I give it an 8. It's the only one feld over there.
Oh, you said feld.
Yes.
I didn't hear you. I was looking at games in general.
Luna!
As in lunatic.
Luna. So we played Luna. Like I said, we played 2 felds. This is the other feld we played. We're going through all the felds we haven't played in a while. We picked a couple that were fast playing, like Isla and this are both quick. This is like a 30, 45 minute game for 2 players. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's just, there's just better felds out there than Luna, in my opinion. Seems like I don't know, it just seems like the game's over before you even realize it's going on.
It does go really quickly.
Just done. I mean, you're just not getting your engine going.
You're so done.
You feel like you've got stuff going on, and boom, the game's over.
Yeah.
It plays really, really fast, 2-player. It says 25 minute a person. I think it's actually shorter than that.
25 minutes total.
I think we played it.
Not quite.
Not including the teach and setup, we probably played it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
Maybe we were just
it's gone.
We were so over it.
poof, it's gone.
We did not AP. Well, actually, we did a little bit.
A little bit towards the end.
So even then, it plays really quickly because, kind of to a point, because of the goals, it kind of bottlenecks your choices in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because one of the main ways that you get victory points in this is building these little temples, but you can only build the temples where there's a little master builder guy.
Right.
So he's only in one place, and he doesn't move after that. So you have to plan on getting there, and you either build or you don't. So...
And she got more built than me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that pretty much was the difference in the game.
Yeah.
I can show you on the back. It's basically, there's all these islands around the board. There's different actions, things that you do at the different islands. You're basically maneuvering your meeples around the different islands through different travel actions. Taking action to the islands, you're filling up a little, like a area control thing here in the middle, in the middle.
I really like, too, that each of these little islands has, like, totally different things you can do there. It's kind of cool. Like, they have their little ability token, and there's great ways to trade, like, how many meeples you got going there, and just, I don't know, I like the puzzly aspect to it. And I remember it, I remember less of it than I thought, because when we go back to play it, I was like, I really like this one, and I don't know
I think you enjoyed it more than I did.
I did. Coraloo, I don't know that anybody's given Feld credit for an abundance of theme, but sure, yeah, I'm sure he planned it that way. Moonlight doesn't last long either, so the game length is thematic. I like it. It's a good theory. I'll stick with it.
But no, it's all about manipulating your meeples and moving them around to different islands to take the actions you want to take. The problem is one thing that kind of pulls it down a little bit for me is I enjoy that area control in the middle of the board where you're putting your meeples in, I guess, the temple or whatever. Yeah. But you're physically taking some of your meeples and putting them there. So if you put too many meeples in the temple, you get points for that, but you'd have less to do on the board. And I think since I enjoyed that mechanism so much of putting the guys in the temple, I had so few meeples to work with that it probably cost me the game because I couldn't do any actions on my turn because all my meeples were in the middle.
I think it was your thirst for vengeance of some sort because you kept hoping you could protect your people from getting booted out of that area control area if you have a little book on them. He kept trying to sneak in there when I wasn't paying attention, and I kept moving the book to protect my people, and he's like, I gotta try again.
No, I just kept doing it. That was my favorite part. It was putting those guys in there, and I think there's a balance there between how many guys you put in there for the area control to how many you leave out to be able to actually do your actions. And towards the end of the game, I couldn't do anything because I had like 7 or 8 dudes and my guys in the temple area. So
see what I'm saying?
So
bloodthirsty.
I just did what I enjoyed playing, and it lost the game for me. So there you go.
Dope.
Luna! There's a new version out. Deluxified version.
Tommy has it. We'll trade you for your detective game. What's up?
All right, let's move on to my number 7. Counting up. Where is it? Where's my number 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, 7. Okay. Memoir?
My 7 doesn't look like a 7, but my number 7 is Pipeline.
Hold up.
Wait.
Huh? Oh, no.
Yeah, that's right. Pipeline. That's right.
Killing me, Smalls.
I just have a really weird... my 7 kind of has a squiggly. It almost looks like a 3, but I know it's not my 3. So, Pipeline. We finally got to play Pipeline. This has been sitting on our shelf of shame for...
too long.
6 months, maybe?
Oh, is that all?
6 months, 7 months, something like that.
What is time, anyway?
I enjoyed the play of this. It was good, but... It's a heavy Euro. It's a big, heavy Euro. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take long to play. It's only about an hour or so to play. Yeah, but it's pretty heavy and thinky and brain burnery and puzzly and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We played it twice. I enjoyed playing it.
Yes.
But after we were done playing those 2 times, I said, how often will I pick this over other heavy Euro games?
Yeah.
Not so much. But if you enjoy puzzly tile games where you're trying to manipulate tiles and make them match up.
Oh, this is great for that.
It's really, that's a good chunk of the game because you're building pipelines. So
I know. Shocking, I know.
Pipelines. So you're basically an oil company. You're building pipelines. You're producing oil. You're fulfilling contracts. But one of the main things in the game is there's all these little tiles here that have little pipes.
3 different colored pipes.
And you're connecting up the pipes. You're trying to make... the longer the pipe is, the more it produces, or the better it produces. Mm-hmm. So it's all about drafting those tiles, positioning properly to be able to produce the most resources, the best resources. The longer the pipe is, it produces either low grade, high grade, or medium grade stuff. it's a cool little game. It's a nice little heavy Euro game, but
it was funny because it was a unique theme, not one I'm gonna be like excited about, but it was a unique theme, something different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird to explain. The puzzles were really cool. But again, like you said, when we're going through some of these games and sitting down with something of this weight,
I'd play every Lacerda game over this one, for example.
Yeah. Well, this isn't quite.
It's not that heavy.
As heavy as Lacerda, though.
This
is lighter than that.
It's pretty heavy.
It's pretty heavy.
There's a lot going on in this game.
Yeah, because to be completely honest,
it's just short, but there is a lot going on in this game.
Yeah, the first game I was probably a quarter to a third of the way through the game before I really felt like I understood how to make it click the first time.
Yeah.
And then the second game was fine, but that first game, it really took a little while to figure out, okay, how do you get an engine going with this? It's pretty hefty.
There's a lot going on in this game. I don't care what she says. There is a lot going on in this game.
No, there is.
It's just short, an hour long. But
yeah.
There is a lot going on. There's a ton of stuff happening in this game. There's contracts. There's the pipe building. There's drafting. There's getting superpowers. There's upgrading your stuff. There's just tons and tons of stuff going on in this game. There you go. Pipeline. It's all right.
Yes.
I give it an 8. It's good, but like I said, I'd pick a ton of other heavy Euros before I'd pick that one.
Yeah, it's one of those. If you're going for a game and you wanted something with a different theme, awesome. If you're doing some crazy, ridiculous collection like we've got, take it or leave it, right?
Let's move on to my number 6. This was suggested by the currently absent Kabuki Kid. She suggested this one to us.
Oh, is it this one?
I don't know. I can't see.
This one?
No.
Oh, I know which one it is. It's this one.
Yep.
Okay.
Star Wars Outer Rim. So we finally got to play this one. This is another one that's been on our shelf of shame for a little while. We knocked it out. We were kind of saving it to play with Caitlin, but she decided she didn't want to play it. She likes pick up and deliver games. This is a pick up and deliver game, but she decided not to play, so we played it 2-player. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. Like I said, it's just a pick-up deliver game. You're driving around the Outer Rim in your little ship, and you're picking up items and delivering it, fulfilling contracts. You're delivering goods. You're delivering prisoners. You're doing the word flew out of my head. Bounties, but not when you hide stuff. Contraband deliveries.
I was like.
So you're just going all over the board, just traveling between places, delivering things, fulfilling contracts, upgrading your ship, getting in fights, avoiding the bad guys, all that sort of stuff. Sometimes you have to fight the bad guys for some of your contracts. You have quests and different things. It's got
a wide variety.
It's really cool. The only issue I really had with the game is there's missions where you're going and finding someone and you're getting them and like capturing them or delivering them and taking them somewhere else, things like that. It's almost like they're hidden throughout the map, so you fly to a certain area and you basically check and see if you can find them.
It was funny.
And if you're doing that stuff, it could take forever to find some of those guys.
And it's a memory game.
Yeah. You look at the card and you put it down, and then like half hour later you're like, oh, I need to pick up that guy. Oh, where was he? Oh my gosh, it's just crazy.
I didn't do any of the
I did a lot
bounty
of those.
stuff. And
I found it interesting.
Hunter, I had my popcorn watching Hunter with the agonizing of, I know he was one of those planets, and he's sitting there and he's just like trying to go through. I mean, because you went through what 6, 8 different places,
right. But I was doing other things in between.
Yeah, and so it wasn't exclusively that. So like, we were not playing this in a peak performance kind of time or anything. This was late at night. It was not a good time to be playing something. It's like, why is this a memory thing? It was pretty rough. You know what? My complaint is the same as yours, Zaris. We can't play Ferengi, so this game is a fail.
What? There's no Ferengi in Star Wars. What's going on? I enjoyed it quite a bit. This is not really my style of game. I mean, I enjoyed part of it, but that hidden thing is kind of weird to me. I mean, you can narrow it down. It's on a type of planet, so
right.
It narrows it down to like 4 places they could be, but they could be scattered throughout the board. So if you do those, you got to think, okay, what missions can I do in between to travel those different places? It's kind of an efficiency game, which a lot of pick-up deliver games are that way.
Yeah.
But it has combat and ships and all that good stuff. So if you're a Star Wars fan, this is a really cool game. It played fairly fast. I want to say for this style of game, it was a couple hours, which is standard for your heavy, big pick-up and deliver games.
Yep.
It's a couple hours long.
Ooh, Tommy has a good point. If they did a Mandalorian expansion to this,
people have been screaming.
People
have been screaming for a expansion. The only problem is has this little symbol in the bottom that says Fantasy Flight.
Oh, jeez.
And this company is all but dead.
It's dead.
You heard
Jim.
it. You heard me say it. It's
dead,
all
Jim.
but dead. So I don't think there's going to be expansion for this game. And this game's a few years old. Do you think they would have had one by now? When did this come out? 2-3 years ago?
Probably.
2, 3? Where am I looking?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't see the year anywhere. Can I get a year?
I don't even know what year it is now. What does it matter? What is time, anyway? Is it in Roman numerals? Is that throwing you off?
No, it doesn't. This is where I use the...
Wait a second, that's mine! I'm supposed to be the one to get to use that first, not you.
Get this out of here.
Fair. Not fair.
Alright. Anyway.
We've upgraded a few things.
Alright, so my number 5... My number 5 is what many people call Brass Light.
Oh.
I rate this an 8. It is borderline. Let me see what my number 4. I think my 4 is nope. It's at the upper ends of the 8s.
Come on, Sam. Oh, you're ready. Okay.
Age of Industry.
This is not an attractive game.
So I really, really like this game. I enjoy it. It's like if you've played Brass or Brass Birmingham, this is a light, super streamlined version of the game. I think this one actually came after Brass, so he made this to be a lighter, easier version of Brass, a quicker version of Brass.
Iron.
But it makes 18xx games look like modern, super graphics, amazing components.
Oh, please show us. Do tell.
So this is I can't explain it more. If you've played Brass, this is a lighter version. If you haven't played Brass, then if you're looking for a lighter version, this is it. But man, look at this board. Look at this board.
Oh, I'm showing you
this
things.
board sells it for me, man.
You gotta see what I suffered through, people. Okay, and you all know that I'm a huge sucker for art. I almost told Hunter to pack this game up. Look at this
board. Doesn't that just talk to you? Doesn't that board look at that board?
It says something. It's more of like a dirge.
Man, Martin Wallace, come on, buddy. Let's put some pictures or something.
Look at this lovely blurry ship. Okay, look at that. And then on the other side, ooh, an X and a blurry ship.
Yeah, and the box cover's great too.
Oh, that dude. That dude's probably thinking what I'm.
But all that aside, I really enjoyed the game.
Okay. But I will say that the art is such craptastica that it did take me a while to get over that to enjoy the game. I'm not gonna lie. You can have a clean and yet beautiful game. I just want to say that Age of Industry. You can be beautiful and efficient.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a
beautiful
kind
game,
of
go here.
Welcoming game to Brass, this is definitely it, because he's like I said, Martin Wallace specifically took Brass and made it simpler and easier and streamlined, and that's what this game is.
I love the comments in the chat too. Wow, this almost offends me. And I've played old school war games. The worse it looks, the better it must be. You know what? With that mentality, yes, you will be okay through here, Tommy.
I enjoyed it. It really is.
It's terrible.
I
the
can't,
art.
It's hard to explain what
it is.
Without,
because it's weird.
It's if you played Brass, it's Brass Light. If you haven't played Brass, then it's a resource management, area control ish.
It's
not even pick up and deliver.
It's like resource filtering.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be building like a factory, but you have to have railways to get it to the coast to get to a port, because at the port you can trade it, but you also need to have...
You are delivering your goods. You are delivering your goods when you produce them.
But you don't move the little cube. You don't physically move anything.
No.
It's just visualized in your mind, which...
Use your imagination, just like you do when you
need
look
to
at
use
the
your
board.
imagination to pretend that this was a pretty game.
I really enjoyed it quite a bit. Would I choose this over Brass? Very, very, very rarely. But
Only because you need something lighter.
But
right?
I love Brass. But like I told Rebecca after we played towards the end of this, is like I don't feel like my mind got crunched as much playing this as I do
this
Brass.
Was not
I mean, there's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of difficult choices, but I didn't feel like I've just been through our grinder like you do with Brass. Brass is there's a lot going on in Brass.
Exactly, like for one of the ones we talked about in particular. There's rails. There's not rails and canals. Like Brass has both, and then you have to upgrade and all those weird eras. Railroads are railroads. We share them.
Yeah, there's not anything. What's my network? What's her network? Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. We all use each other's rails.
It's like train tracks.
It's just
out in the world.
He just took it.
It's just.
I bet he literally went through the Brass rules and said, "Okay, how can I make this rule easier? Okay, I'll do this. How do I make this easier? I'll do this. How do I make this easier?
Possibly,
I'll do this."
Yeah.
And it's easier to teach. It's still long. It's still a long game. It's still a 2-hour game, just like Brass is.
But it really does not feel like your brain's going to come out your ear.
The thing that she didn't like is the art. In Brass. Well, yeah, besides the art. In Brass, you start out with a decent amount of money, if I recall correctly. This game, you start out with no money.
Zip.
So the whole game, you're struggling to stay out of debt. So that's part of the game.
It is American spending at its finest.
You're constantly going in and out of taking loans and paying off loans and taking loans and paying off loans. But towards the end, I'd say the last third of the game, we broke free of that, and we weren't getting loans anymore, unless we did like some big dollar.
And that was
building
really only
or something
you.
like that.
That was only you at the end.
I was making real big dollar shipyards and ships and boats and things that cost a lot of money, more money than I had. So I had to take a loan, but then I'd build the ship and then I'd sell it good, and then I'd immediately pay it off again. So.
Your timing was better than my timing.
But it's a cool little game. Mm-hmm. It's definitely. If I didn't do the research on what this game was and I just saw it, I'd be like, ooh.
Pass. Yeah.
But I like the idea of a lighter version of Brass, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So, and that was something that I think was interesting about this game that I feel was probably the trick to this one too, was timing, because your turns are very short. You only have a very limited amount of moves that you make before your turn's over.
Right.
And timing those was important, and I think your timing was way better than mine, which is why you won. Because if you use the port that you just made, it flips and then you get the money from it. Right. I inevitably always ended up where at the very end of my turn I'd build something cool, but I'd have to wait till the next round to flip it, and so I didn't have that money, and I'd have to pay for my interest for my loans and stupid things like that he didn't have to, because he just timed it right where he bought it and was able to flip it in the same term, and then he's debt free. So I probably had a building worth of interest that I paid during the game because of mistiming. And so there's like this really, but it's not super brain melty, but it's just like opportunity and prioritizing and all that.
Yeah, you definitely want to build a goods producing building, and then the place it delivered to within the same round, and you deliver the good, and then you get the points for money for both of those buildings. If you do it between rounds, and usually you build a building, you need a loan to do that. Then the next round you do where it's going to be delivered, and then you pay off your loans, and then you end up paying interest between rounds. Is what she's talking about, which is it's part of the game. I mean, it's an efficiency game. Any Euro game is all about efficiency. So.
Okay, quick one. Cora Lou, you said something about a game furnace. It's super ugly. Is it super ugly in an aesthetic way?
I've heard about the game. I haven't researched it.
Is it ugly like this? Like they spent 5 minutes on the art kind of aesthetic? Or is it purposefully ugly, made to be gritty, dirty, furnace-y? Because I could get behind that. I'm curious. This just... not the same. So, curious. All right. Anyway, moving on. What's your next one, dear?
I have no idea. I talked about that one a while.
You did. We have
my number 4. This is last of the 8. No, is the last of the 8s? Nope, not the last of the 8s. These are really high 8s.
I'm shocked that any of these are 8s. I'm a little bit appalled, sir.
My number 4 is Merv. I give it an 8, almost a 9. If I was doing decimals, it'd be like an 8.8 or 8.9.
And it's got our buddy Tool going from weird art to cool art.
Yeah, this game's got really nice art.
Oh man,
you can definitely tell the difference. This in the modernization of this game. It's a beautiful game. It's a great Euro game. It's got good choices. It's kind of reminds me a little bit about like Trajan in a way in terms of how the mechanisms work, because you got different areas of the board that you're doing actions in. So you're basically visiting different areas and doing different actions. Let me see some of the components off. This is a really cool game.
No, it's not about Merv Griffin.
So it's got amazing components. It's got beautiful little walls you're building.
Great Wall of
But I
China.
want to show you the board. Kind of give you an idea. Ian O'Toole is one of my favorite artists. It helps that he does all the Serta games, but the board, compared to the last board we're looking at, this board is gorgeous.
It's true. It's true.
Look at
that bad boy.
Beautiful
Woo!
board. Look at that.
It's upside down, but no one cares.
They don't know what anything is.
Well, until
unless
you
they
look at the
played it.
camel.
There you go. So
Or the
anyway,
words.
so you're going to different areas. You're influencing different areas. It's got a really cool rondelle system. Let me show you part of the board to be able to show you what I mean. I really need to show you the whole board, but
What are you looking for?
the rondelle. So you got this.
Oh yeah.
It's a square. The other half of the square is over here. So
A
you're basically
square-dell?
your meeples are going around the board. So you start in a section. You pick one of these columns and rows to put your meeple, and then you influence a building that's in that row. And this thing's full of different buildings. You influence that building that tells you what action you're going to take. You go to that different action and you take the action. This is kind of a point salad game. You're doing all sorts of point salad type stuff, but you're claiming these buildings, and then at the end of every second and third era, there's 3 eras, phases, whatever you want to call it, in the game. The Mongols attack the city. So this is the city of Prague, and apparently it's changed hands like...
No, this isn't Prague. This is the city of Merv.
Oh, Merv. City of Merv. Next game's Prague. City of Merv. Spoilers. City of Merv. Apparently it's changed hands like a half dozen times or more throughout their history. And the Mongols are attacking in this particular era, and you have to protect your buildings from the Mongols by building walls. So one of the places you can go to do action is to build the walls. You build walls around the city to protect your buildings, and they don't get destroyed. Basically, you don't claim that building anymore if you don't protect it. And what's cool about this game, it's almost kind of semi-co-op in a way.
I should have warned you guys. We need a warning alert button.
It's not semi-co-op, but what I mean is you can actually protect other people's buildings to get influence, which is one of the kind of resources in the game. You actually get more influence when you protect other people's buildings as opposed to your own buildings. So if you're really wanting some influence, you can build walls to protect other people, and you can put them in such a way that you can actually protect your own and theirs as well. It's just kind of, like I said, it's a little point salad action selection game.
Little. This is not a little game,
It's
sir.
a little game.
It is not a little game, sir. This is mid heavy.
But I enjoyed this game. It's a midweight Euro, in my opinion, mid to heavy Euro game. It's really fun. People that don't necessarily like these style of games like this game because it's kind of smooth and makes sense. And
Very
there's
smooth.
Lots of good choices in the game. If you like games that are kind of like Lorenzo and Coimbra, it's that kind of weight, that kind of feel, that kind of style. It's really smooth, easy to teach. Your actions make sense. I really like it. And in the 2-player version, since that's what we played, there's a kind of a dummy player that moves around that we both kind of control.
There were
and what
two
that does,
dummy players.
what that does is that's another guy that's building buildings that gives you someone else to protect, to put the walls to protect his buildings as well, and another person that you can interact, another person's buildings you can potentially interact with. So it's not that difficult to think about. One person picks where the guy moves on that rondelle. The other person picks which building they're influencing in the spot they pick. So it's pretty straightforward. We got the hang of it after a couple of turns. It made sense.
Yeah,
how it worked.
I liked this more than I thought I would. I really did. There's a lot going on with it, and I wasn't sure I was going to like the wall with the Mongols attacking and stuff, but like you said, bringing the semi-cooperative aspect to it of rewarding you for protecting other buildings too made it good, because there's some times where it wasn't that good of an opportunity for me to actually protect my own building, or I already had a soldier there or something that was protecting it. And it was just, there's a lot more choices. It felt like there was a lot of good choices, so you weren't stuck at any point, right? And I don't like those games where you feel like, oh, I'll take the one that gives you 1 coin. You know, it's not like that.
All those 6 different actions are
all cool.
They're all interesting. They're not kind of fluff actions. They all got cool things to do.
The defenestrations of Prague, huh?
So I like it. It's a cool game. It's nice looking. It's fun. It's the style we like. This one's quick. I want to say it's an hour.
Would you say it's marvelous?
It's marvelous.
It's marvelous.
90 minutes. I think our
our
game was quicker, especially our second game. This is another one we played twice. Our second game was definitely faster.
Oh, yeah.
Than 90 minutes.
Once you get it does start to pop pretty quickly because you know what you're going to do on your turns and don't have to spend as much time going, okay, so how does this little mini...
All right, so the next
really
one...
Good. Really good.
The next one is the one I mentioned already. The game I call Praga non-Oulette.
Praga non-Oulette. It's Oulette.
Oulette.
Oulette? That's like...
Praga Kaput Regni. What? What game is this? How you pronounce?
Praga Kaput Regni.
There you go. Something like that. This one would be an 8.9999. I couldn't quite bring myself to give it a 9.
On these,
I'm not hating on it. It just doesn't get a 9. Doesn't get a 9. I love this game quite a bit.
This game is greatness.
It's another kind of the same weight as Merv, midweight, kind of what I consider midweight.
Mid-heavy.
But this is probably quicker. This plays quicker. It's about an hour game. It's by Suchi, who made Underwater Cities.
Which we're fans.
I enjoy Underwater Cities. I enjoyed this one maybe about the same, maybe a little less than Underwater Cities, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is another one that has a cool action selection system. And in fact, I'm going to show it off because it's like kind of the gimmick. And Rekka's always all about the gimmicks.
I am about the gimmicks. It's a fun...
Of course, I'm going to have to dig all through all these bits.
If you want to play point salad but don't want to play a Feld game, this is your game. This is the most pointy salad of pointiness.
It's got these cool 3D little pieces.
They're ridiculous.
Let me tell you, if you do these 3D pieces, which I enjoy, it's a craft project. So if you don't have a crafty person in your household, avoid at all costs.
Why are you saying that here? Should I have built these?
It's probably close to an hour plus of crafting to build all these little 3D little things.
Why was it so rough?
It's a lot of work because then you got to build these. You punch all these. So you got player boards or what do they call them? Recess.
We do have a lot of Rio Grande games. You're right.
Recess game board. It has places to put all your little cube and has cool little dials on here. It's a lot of work to get all this stuff. But what I'm trying to get to is the board, which is the very bottom.
Board is greatness.
So it has it's another action selection game where you're taking actions and your influence areas a lot like Merv. It's interesting, they're very similar. But this one has a cool little wheel thing here. So you have these tokens that fit into different slots around the wheel, and you just basically you pick which one you want to take, and based on where it is in the wheel, it either costs you money or doesn't cost you money, or potentially could even give you victory points if you pick it. And then on the inside of the wheel, depending on where that token is a bonus action. So they're going to be combos of actions and bonuses, and you're like, okay, which action do I want? What bonus do I want? So it's kind of and do I want to pay? Do I not want to pay? Do I want to
so good.
Do I want to get one of the ones that's cheap? Do I want to get the ones that's worth victory points? And each of those tokens, wherever they are, in this mess of stuff.
I think they're here. Are they in there? I think they're in here.
No.
You sure about that?
Maybe.
Yeah, they're in here.
Give me one of them, please. Please.
Please.
So here the tokens are like this. So I'll show you what I mean. So the tokens, there's like, I think there's 6 different tokens. Each one of these tokens has 2 different actions on it that you can take. So there's lots of choices just in the action selection piece. Which token do I take to take which actions, and what bonus does it match up with, and what does it cost me or not cost me to take that action? And basically you take the action and then it goes towards the back of the line. So it's kind of like a conga line kind of thing of the different actions. And again, it's kind of the same way as Merv. There's all these different areas of the board that you're taking actions on. You can build buildings, you can build walls, you can upgrade your powers. It's a really cool midweight Euro game. I like this one quite a bit. I just changed my opinion. It's now a 9. I talked myself into it. It's a 9. I give it a 9 now.
Okay, quick question. Did you have to glue your little project together?
Yes, it's glue.
You did do it? Oh, okay. That explains.
I didn't.
Why it took so long.
I foregone.
You have foregone?
Gluing. I didn't glue this because I was worried I did something wrong.
Oh.
So I didn't glue it at first. So these actually pop out.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
They actually pop out, but they're meant to be glued. But what's cool is this is one of the areas you can influence. You're moving a little when you're a pawn meeple guy up this track to get points and different things. But there's somewhere in this mess, there is other versions.
Oh, yeah.
Open that up, please.
Here you go.
There's other versions that you pop into the board. So I don't know if you saw that. There's different versions of that same track, and you pop it in and cover up the base game version of it. which is really cool. So there's tons of replayability. There's tons of different options. I liked it quite a bit. But if you're not a project person and don't want to do projects, those things are on the board as well. You can just play
2D,
play the 2-dimensional version. It's not quite as interesting, and you don't feel like you're moving up levels because there's actually
Levels.
you have to pay to move up different to the levels in the game, and you kind of lose that effect with not having the 2D.
But you can pretend.
But-
Squint out a little bit.
You look,
Wear your 3D
here's
glasses.
Here's your project sheet.
That's not a Lego instruction manual either.
There's your project building sheet. So felt like I was building an insert to a game. If you ever built like a Broken Token or a Meeple Realty insert, that's what I felt like I was doing.
Okay. Now, one thing that's fun about the game, I did not know this. I love games like this where you learn a little historical nonsense too at the same time about the eggs and using the eggs to help mix the mortar for the bricks to make this. Eggs are a very scarce commodity in this game, and we found out very quickly that keeping an egg engine, as it were, is very important
Yes.
in this game, or you'll sit there going, I can't do that yet because I have to get an egg, and so you spin your wheel, forgive the pun with the rondelle, trying to get to some opportunities with eggs in them because they are very scarce, and you have to kind of fight your way through with them. It's fantastic.
So you're actually one of the things that you're doing in the game is you're building a bridge, and
the
you're
River
traveling
Kwai?
across that bridge. And one of the resources you need to do that is an egg, like she said, and it's actually historically accurate.
wingspan.
But apparently, back in the day, the king or whoever commissioned all this stuff to be built believed that if you mixed egg in with the mortar, it made the mortar stronger. So we actually.
Well, same thing as if you eat eggs.
He actually
right?
commissioned the farmers to bring in eggs, and they mixed eggs into the mortar to build the bridge and a cathedral and a couple other things. And all those things still stand in Prague today. If you go
there you go.
They're still there. So it's been
King was right.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and they're all still standing.
We can't talk though in America. We're like, oh, it's 50 years old. It's old.
That's true.
Make a new version.
That's true.
Knock it down.
So it's a cool little
Shamey. Make it with eggs.
mid to heavy. I'd consider it mid, but mid to heavy Euro
Yes.
game with some gimmicks. So if you like the little 3D things and the little action selection.
Chickens don't die to give you eggs, Tommy.
And it's cool. And again, I'm not going to dig the rule book out, but it has little history blurbs throughout the rules of
Yeah, that's kinda
when it's
cool.
talking about why you use eggs for the bridges and why this was done and why the cranes and things. It just gives you all these little historical blurbs about
Okay.
what's going on.
Question then. Do they put those in there in a cool way, or do they interrupt the rules and drive you
No,
a
they're
little bit
off on the
crazy?
s- they're off on the
Okay,
side.
because I was like, that's one thing I would
'Cause
be
it-
going crazy about.
That wheel I showed you with the action selection is supposed to represent these cranes that they use when they were building. That's the little spinning of the
Very cool. Baby
cranes
chicks.
is what it's supposed to represent. Anyway, gimmicks. I
Future
like
baby
gimmicks.
chicks.
She loves gimmicks, so there you go.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. I enjoyed.
That one just went from 8 to a 9. I talked myself into it.
I can't believe you dissed Merv like that. Then
I don't. It just seemed. I don't know.
Was it 2 point salady for you,
Not necessarily that. It just seemed like that. It was like a.
or two?
To me, again, this is just me. It felt like I was going through the same motions. Maybe that's why I was playing. I do this action, I do this action, then I do this action. Then I do this action, I do this action.
Okay.
It seemed like there was a
Yeah.
rhythm to the game, which some people like that. But it
Yeah.
felt like I was
I-
kind of. Once I did this action, then it was obvious I needed to do this other action.
No, I
That
can
type
see
of
that. It
thing.
was a little bit more programmed than like Praga, where it is just crazy point salad stuff. That's true. I get it. I get
All right, let's move on to another 9.
it. Oh, I'm curious which one you picked.
And that is Holla.
Holla!
That's what we call it. Hallertau, or however you say it. I'm horrible with names.
I think it's Holler.
I got dissed
Hallertau?
today on someone left a comment, and that's fine. At the board game breakfast, I said
What'd you say?
Lancashire, and it's Lancashire.
Oh, like Worcester and Worcestershire
Yeah, I
and
don't know.
Worcestershire.
Anyway, I'm horrible
I will
pronouncing
say it
names.
all just to be obnoxious.
I'm horrible
because
pronouncing names. So this is the latest and greatest
English names
big
are
box
the
game
worst, I
from Uwe Rosenberg.
That's funny.
It's all the rage. It's all
We
what all the
always-
kids are talking about. I don't know. Maybe not.
It should be because it's good. Holla!
It's a really good, really good game. It's probably, I wouldn't say it's my favorite big box Uwe game, but it's up there, maybe top 3, maybe of Uwe games, maybe. Which is, we have like
Out of big,
12 of them.
are all considered big box by you?
Yes, but we only have big box. Because I threw Bonanza in the trash.
You did not.
No, you took it to school, I think.
Okay, because I was gonna say.
But anyway, this
Get
is
that button again.
This is an awesome big box Uwe game. It's all about growing crops and
It's
resource
Uwe's.
management
He
and
loves
stuff
his
like
veggies.
that. But it has some cool, interesting things going on.
This is such a good game.
I don't know if this is the. I think there's a lot of games that use this same mechanism. Where's the main
I gotta
board?
show you guys this though, because it's a riot. I want to show you the lamb chops in this game because I had to crack up when I saw these little bad boys.
Look at that little guy.
How the little meat.
It's just so
And
ridiculous.
It's a weird pink color.
It's a
too.
weird pink color. Then you have his usual stuff, but the little lamb chops just killed me.
So this is the main board. It looks pretty busy, but it'll make sense when I
It makes
talk about it in a
perfect
second. So these are all the different places you can go to put workers. And what's interesting is you don't have like your own color of workers. The workers are just these blue cubes. So when you go to take an action, the first person to go to a spot pays one worker, the next person pays two, and the next person pays three. Other games have done that. But what's interesting is when you recall your workers, when the recall phase, in a lot of the worker placement games, you have a recall phase where you bring your workers back. Since they're not your own workers, you only bring the top row back. So, for example, if this one had all three full, you'd only take the top row and take those off. If this one had two full, then you don't take the second row. And based on the number of players, you don't necessarily take off all the different areas. So in a 2-player game, which we played, there's 4 quadrants of the board, and you only clear 2 of the quadrants. So 2 of the quadrants are going to be more crowded than the 2 that clear each turn. In a 3-player game, you do 3 quadrants, and a 4-player game, you clear all the top row of all the different sections, which is kind of interesting because the action you might want to take is like super expensive.
Yeah.
So you might be forced to take something you don't necessarily want to do because it uses less worker. I mean, taking one action and spending 3 workers, you could take potentially 3 other actions for that same cost. So there's a lot going on with the worker placement part of the game and the decision of how to allocate your workers.
Alternately, it's easy to get strayed from your streamlining your goals doing that because you're like, well, in the meantime, and then you realize you're like, oh, I'm a little off track because again, turns are tight with his games, so you think you have more stuff you get to do. It kind of reminded me of Le Havre that way. It's like I want to do 57 things. Unfortunately, I only get to do 4. So and so you got to be careful with what you're saying. Like you have nothing but good choices usually of some kind, but it can keep you off of your path to the best victory points if luck has it that way, right?
So you're gathering, and there's all sorts of resources you're gathering crops and animals and different things. You use those to, the main thing you're using them for is you have these 5 or 6 different buildings that you have to supply resources to. So basically the thought is, we're building up this city, we're making all these different resources, we're taking those resources, you're fueling the different businesses in the city.
Yep.
If the businesses are doing well, then your community's going to be doing well. And so you're spending resources to basically improve your community center. But at the same time, you have a choice between that, which is where a lot of your points come from, but you also have all these goal cards that you're trying to do. You're building an engine with cards that give you income every turn. You're spending those resources for cards that give you other resources or better resources. And then there's in-game cards that take a ton of resources. So there's this constant fight of, what do I spend on making my community better, and what do I spend to get the cards? And those are all different kinds of ways to get points. So it's point salad in that sense. There's kind of several different things, probably 6 different ways you can get points in the game. But this is where the action is.
I disagree. This is where the action is, right here.
Oh, well, you're gonna show
Here's the gimmick for this game.
This
is definitely the gimmick. You have a little house, and you're moving your house.
So
soil creep for you geologists.
Well, if you're going to show, then you have to go the whole 9 yards. You have to put your little businesses on there.
Yeah. So what you do
Let me move
is you have
make a space so they can see. You lay it down and
yeah, but you can't see it as well. So you have all these. It's a bunch of stuff to set up, but once you get going with it, it's awesome. Well, Uwe does that, doesn't he? So you have all these different things. Like this is a little cooling house, and it has a little lamb chop and a little milk on it. And then you've got the brew house, and you need to have more barley than hops. In the carpentry, you need more bricks than you need rye. I don't know.
So
you
have these 5
You have to
businesses,
pay.
and they require a certain number of resources based on what round you're in. And you move these every time you pay off the businesses with the resources they need. You move them over, and then when you move all of them one space,
Whoop.
then your house, your
Soil
community center moves over one space,
Earthquakes.
which gives you more workers. And towards the end of the
And your
game, when you get further
Victory
along, you get the
points.
massive
Victory points below your-
massive victory points
look at
based
that.
on what's in your window. So that's one piece, and then again you have all the cards you're trying to complete as well.
Plus,
So.
like any good old wherever this is at, Hallertau, I'm guessing like Sweden or somewhere. I don't know. You're
Someone will tell
digging
us.
up your field, and it's full of rocks because you're in the mountains. So you've got rocks you have to clear out before you can move your little buildings along and move your house over it. It's like, you ever gone camping?
But it's
you
a
have to
cool
clear
one.
out the area before you can put your tent down. You're clearing out all the rocks.
At first blush, is that what they say? Is that what they say? At first blush, I would say this is my
You're such a nerd.
1/4 favorite Uwe game
What?
out of probably
15 or 12
15
or
or
so.
so. So it's
Germany?
high.
Okay.
It's high up there.
That makes sense. Germany, Sweden, somewhere around there. I'm gonna put it up. I think I'm gonna have to. It's up there high too for me as well. I think
I'm
it's
sure
got
it
some
says
good
in the
state
back
power.
where Hallertau is.
Probably does. I'll have to look it up later. I don't
The
have my phone.
Hallertau in Bavaria, Germany,
Oh yeah, Bavaria's in Germany. Woo, okay, very cool.
is the largest
You go, Crowley.
contiguous hop producing region in the world.
Holla.
Prides itself on being the first in Middle Europe. I'm reading the text no one ever reads.
Snort. Is that why the audience fell asleep? No. Yes,
And-
it says. Wait. Okay, so what's the deal with the levels? Can you tell me about this? Because I didn't-
Expert level is the highest level for Lookout. Then there's advanced level,
Okay.
and then there's I don't know. I've never bought one below that. I don't know what below advanced.
Snob. No, just kidding.
Because the one we just bought recently. What did we buy recently? Oh, this one. Our Agricola.
Oh, okay. Oh, it says advanced on it. Okay. Okay. So it's, yeah, it's heavier than Agricola for sure. So this is heavy Uwe. This is like Feast for Odin level.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavy. So not for the faint of heart, but I think this one plays faster, and quite frankly, I like it way better than Feast for Odin.
Yeah, this is an hour and a half. I want to say.
Yeah, I like it better
For
than
us.
Feast for Odin. Straight up, I'm not gonna beat around the bush with that one. So good job, Lookout. Very cool game.
And finally, number one.
Oh man,
One of my favorite designers, maybe my favorite. We need to do an updated designer
I'm
list
thinking
at some point.
so because
Um,
this game, you guys.
CO2.
Wow, I am so pleasantly surprised by this. I thought, oh, this theme,
Vital Lacerta.
How does he
Again.
do it? He made this interesting. He
It-
made this really cool. It
Yeah, a
was,
theme I probably wouldn't
fun.
have thought.
It was smooth.
It's amazing. He's just
Wow.
he's an amazing designer. This is probably a 9.5. The only reason it's a 9.5 is because
You lost?
no. Oh yeah, I didn't lose.
Yeah, you did.
The only reason I don't give it a perfect 10 is because you're basically playing. We played the competitive version. There's two versions of the
Yep.
game. There's cooperative and competitive.
Oh, you're docking it because of the competitive. I mean, the cooperative.
The next time we play, we're going to play the full cooperative version and see if we
Just-
like it. But we played it twice at the competitive version. The problem I have with the game, and I don't necessarily like games like this, it would probably, like I said, it'd probably be a 10, but you're playing against the game. Even in the competitive version, you're fighting against the game, and you can lose. You can lose like in a cooperative game, you can lose. In the cooperative version, I read the rules. Basically, you're trying to reach all these goals and keep the CO2 levels down and all this other stuff. If we work together to do that, and at the end, if you don't meet certain goals or certain requirements, or CO2 gets too high, you lose the game.
Okay.
In the competitive version, we're competing against each other, but you can still completely lose the game if it gets too bad. So there's almost a level of cooperation that goes on in the competitive game, because if we just ignore the requirements of the game to win the game,
We're
we
gonna
will
both
lose. So the first game we played, we lost, and I was and
We're all shocked.
and for a competitive game, that's kind of disappointing.
I was gonna
because-
say you kind of got a Dead of Winter vibe from this, right?
yeah, it's like
Because-
it's like I can't beat her, so let's just throw the game and make sure no one wins. But the game is so amazing and so much fun and so smooth and so interesting and such great choices. Even with that, what I consider a minor flaw, that you can lose the game, even in a competitive game, I still love the game. It's an amazing game.
It really, I mean, I don't know what to say. He outdid himself with this one, which is saying a lot because, man,
And this is the second chance Stronghold version. I've never played the original CO2, so I can't speak to it. But I want to try the competitive version. But
you mean cooperative?
I want to play the cooperative version. Yes.
Even now he's fighting it mentally.
Yeah. I want to try the cooperative version just to try it, so I can talk about it. But I'm not necessarily a big fan of you play a game for 2 hours and you just lose. Everyone loses. I'm not a big fan. But at this point, I think we understand the game enough.
It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't be an issue, but it's still really hard to win the game.
Yeah.
So you meet all the requirements and you survive.
Yeah.
Then you score and see who wins. In the competitive version, it's just see if you survive.
Yeah. So, cooperative. You did it again.
I can't say the word cooperative.
You just
I can't say the word cooperative. It doesn't function.
You can't be friendly.
But if you like Lacerda games and you don't mind that it's semi-co-op, however you want to say it, you're playing against the game as well as the other players. Or if you want a cooperative game where it's full-blown cooperative and you're working together to win the game and literally talking to each other and saying, okay, you need to go do this and I'll do this and this is how we're going to succeed. But even in the competitive version, we still had to say, okay, where are you going to go to build? Because we need to get rid of some of these bad power plants. You're basically replacing coal, like natural resources power plants with renewable type power plants. And so it's like, okay, you're going to go here. Well, then I'm going to go over here to get rid of this. And there's still the competitive part, but you can't just do what's best for me. You have to balance that with what's best for competing against the game. I can't pick the best thing for me to do every round or we're going to lose. And she can't pick the best thing for her every round or we're going to lose.
Or you could, and then you kind of force his hand to kind of help out with the environment.
No, because if I do everything that's best for the game and she does what's best for her, we're still going to lose.
Yeah, it's true. Because that's how game one went for us.
I mean, she spanked me both games. But the first game, this game spanked us because we didn't know what we were doing. The second game, we survived. Barely.
Yeah.
But I think going forward, as time goes by, we'll understand the game more, and we'll be less competing with the game and more competing against each other.
Yeah, it's very tight. So I agree. Gardner says that we need to balance it out with photosynthesis. I like that. Plant some trees. Yeah, plant some trees around it a little bit. But
this is
I agree. Then say forget it all and let's just terraform Mars.
And for whatever reason, Lacerda must have some influence on his publishers because all his games have amazing components, and this is another one. You have all these.
Oh yeah, these are cool.
All these amazing wooden different power plants. You have wind plants and different types of power plants.
But they interlock. Get out a piece. Let's show them. They little interlock.
Oh, yeah,
you talk about it and then you don't show the gimmick?
Yeah, because the first stage is you build a foundation for the plant, and then you build the plant on the foundation, and they
sit on it.
They connect together.
And they all do that, all the different types.
And the plants are universal. Everyone uses the same plants. But the foundation is player color, so you know who built the foundation, because there's certain benefits for being the one to build foundations for the plants. So.
And they do, and he's got, in typical Lacerda fashion, he's got some interesting color choices. Again, interesting shades and stuff. I don't know, it's like cool.
I really like this game a lot.
I was shocked how much I loved this game.
In fact, if they took the competing against the game part out, and almost, you could almost house rule it and say you can't lose the game. But then,
and just make it competitive.
And just make it a 100% competitive game. If that piece was gone, I'd probably give it a 10.
Yeah.
That's how much I love this game.
And just to tell you, here's another, love fest for Lacerda. But what I really like about it, so Hunter's going to spend however long explaining all the games and the nuances and everything. But once you understand how all those little nuances work, this is your cheat sheet. It's like a little bookmark. It tells you
every action you can take and what that action does.
And look at how simplified this is. It's all, it's just a step-by-step.
I love this about his games. And there's so much going on with it. And the other thing I really enjoyed is, the symbols for the resources are crazy easy. You can see them from here even. To keep track of those. He uses really simple symbols. I really liked that. He kept it very language free on a lot of that stuff, which makes it. I don't know. I think that's just a really cool, interesting choice. Very interesting choice.
Serta is still the man.
Yep.
He is the man.
That's true. So you're saving the best for last? Is
No.
that what this is?
There's one game I did not play because I was working. Rebecca and Nessa cracked out a wonderful game.
I lost, unsurprisingly, but not.
No, Caitlin played too.
Yeah, Caitlin.
Yeah,
played too.
Rebecca
it was
and
me
both the girls played.
Yeah, they beat me, but not by much. I actually sort of held my own. Usually I get completely destroyed. I'm not sure. I must have had my vitamins or something. I don't know. Already had my coffee. This is the best. If you want your kids to beat you up, get this game. Oh my gosh, it's a memory game. But it continues for several rounds. And you'd think having this layout for 3 different rounds that you'd be like, oh, I'm going to have this memorized. Well, it tweaks it a little bit. You're going to be flipping it over. But as the end of it, whoever loses will put that card and trade it out with the last one. So stuff subtly moves between
and you remember it
the
being
rounds.
one place and it's moved or it's gone.
And they're linked because you can choose to match the background or the animal. So how you're making these brain connections. I mean, I love this. How you're synapsing this could be like through the backgrounds, but then you got to remember the animals. And so it's just like, it's like 2 memory games in one, sort of. Absolutely love it. And there's variants to this. We've played it with the variants. This time we just played the base game without the superpowers, just because we hadn't done it in a while. And it's just surprisingly a super fun game. I don't even mind getting stomped at this game because it's just really cute. And the art's really adorable. The cards are great. This was our go-to game when Katie went to the National History Bee while we're waiting for competition stuff. We cracked out so many games of this. And then we kind of stopped playing for a while because we played it so much during that. And then pulling this out again after a couple years, it's been pretty awesome. So I'm hoping they pull this one out again soon.
Yeah, this is a good one. It's a game that the kids have better memory than adults.
Well, they're not distracted by all the stuff, you know?
So
they have that laser focus.
So it's just like she said, it's just a chain game. So basically she flips over one, there's like a starter card. It'll be like a penguin with leaves behind him. So the next person has to do either leaves or penguin. And they flip over a card. If they're right, the next person has to match one of the 2 things about their card. And you just go and go and go until someone messes up the chain. And then you...
So much fun.
And then the last person to get it right gets a treasure or something
No. The person who screwed it up, he takes a volcano card.
Okay.
And there's 2 volcano cards, and then the last person... Well, we're playing 3-player. The last person standing, they get a treasure card.
Oh, okay. So
that's
it's
how you
just
do
just chaining around the table, memorizing as much as you can, and I'm horrible at this game, so I'm glad I didn't play, because I'm horrible with this game.
I did better than I expected, given the last year. I thought that they would just completely annihilate me, but I had my A game on, I guess.
If you put
still lost.
like numbers on the cards, then I might do better at it. But as far as memorizing pictures and sequences and locations,
not a thing.
Not so much. So
the special powers are super fun. Yes, I like those.
That
like the crab will let you do an extra turn, and it messes up the board so much using the superpowers.
Yeah,
this one of the superpowers is to switch to.
Yeah,
and oh man, it's a whole nother ball game, right?
Yeah.
So much fun. A lot of dynamite, a lot of dynamics, a lot of good times.
That was a lot of talking about games. Our whole show was talking about games.
Well, what happened to the shenanigans?
The shenanigans were when you made that Roman numeral comment.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's 20 games that we semi-reviewed, kind of, maybe.
I'd say we reviewed
20 games.
Kind of brushed through a few of those, though.
Well, the ones we've done before and some of the lower rankings.
But yep, true enough. And I think we're going to have some shenanigans soon to make up for this. What do we have? What's on the schedule?
So next time, 1 week from tonight, is our combined top 100.
Yes.
We take our top 100s.
That's so much fun.
Mush them together and
so
combine them. Basically, we weight our game. So her number 1 game is worth 100 points. My number 1 game is worth 100 points. All the way down to our number 100 game, which is worth 1 point. We add up the scores. We rank 100, and we do it all
blam
right in a row. We start. It's just a stream, a scroll. Like the end credits to a movie, scrolling all the games by. We'll start with 100 and go all the way to our number 1 game, our number 1 combined game.
It's gonna be fun. Have you done the system maps?
No, I
yet?
haven't done it yet. I'll do it
Curious.
soon. But yeah,
I'm always
it's always
curious how
kind of
it's-
interesting because the first up to about 60 when we have it's just I usually make a note is where the games stop being on only one of our lists. Basically, above that number, they're all both on our list. And we have a ton of crossover. This year, I think we have less crossover. I think we're going to end up with about 50 games that cross over.
That's what Neutral was just saying. Since I removed a bunch of your favorites.
Yeah, we have about 50 that cross over. Yeah, a lot of my games are going to be plummeting down the list because it's going to be only me giving them points.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So. But I always find it interesting to see what games land in the top 20. It's
because it's not always
what you
like what you think because you're like, oh, it's in your top 10, it's going to be there. Well,
yeah, because a game that's in your top 10 and
depends.
my top 30 is going to be a lot higher than maybe one of my favorite games, right?
Yeah,
Because it's got you need points from both of us to be able to get high up the list.
Oh, Julio mentions that the calendar on BGG has not updated, or is that?
I haven't been updating it.
Scandalous.
I should update it.
Yeah, you should update it. And you should put a poll in for movie night. We were talking about that.
Oh yeah, so some of the things we're thinking about doing
Yes.
soon is movie night, doing like a watch party for some random weird movie on either Netflix or something like that. Do that, and we're also thinking about doing just
Jackbox.
try it out and see how it goes. Doing like a Jackbox live thing. So our game group has been doing that because of the social distancing. We thought we'd transfer it over to you guys and let you guys get involved with that. So
Heck yeah.
so next time, top 100 combined, what I call the definitive top 100 list. The week after that, another shenanigans show. It's going to have less games probably, so we'll have more time to do other stuff. And then the week after that is a top 10, which we haven't decided what it's going to be yet.
Ooh.
Probably put up a poll.
Put up some input.
Put up a poll, or look at the last poll and pick the second place.
That's always
one.
good. Tommy wants to know what the tiebreaker is when you're building.
Rebecca.
Aw.
Rebecca's favorite wins. Whichever one's higher on her list wins the tiebreaker.
Aw, brownie point.
Rebecca wins ties. So yeah, if it's a tie, whichever one she likes better of the two that are tied, breaks the tie.
Oh, watch party for WandaVision finale.
Can they do? I don't know if you can do Disney watch party. Can you?
I think you can.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
That'd be crazy. That'd be a Friday where they come.
Oh
on.
my gosh, I would be typing furiously the entire time. I'd be like, oh my gosh, did you just see that?
The only problem with watching a show like that is you have potential of people popping in that have already seen it, messing with people.
Not if we do it like, boom. Like, we're going to be one of those people that crashes it for everyone else for once. Because we get in right when it loads.
I would be working when it loads. I think it loads in the morning.
Oh, it does?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, school. Okay, I'm like, oh, I'm sick.
Yeah, I would want to watch some movie that's like a classic.
Some old one
that's people have all seen.
Ooh,
so.
like Sharknado.
So that we can chat a lot
Tremors?
and not be like staring at the TV the whole time. Tremors. What's your obsession with Tremors?
It's just stupid and funny, and it probably kills brain cells to watch it, but it's so funny. I love it. It's just so campy.
You have to watch
and
the new one that
stupid.
came out a couple years ago.
I can't believe I've missed one.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I've missed one. I'm not the only one that obsesses about it. Like, Brothers Murph, actually, I found out, like, loves Tremors, too. And I was like, my people...
I like the first one, but I was pretty much done after that, so...
Oh, well, they're just so stupid. It's wonderful. It's like Sharknado, though.
It had
Think
Kevin
about
Bacon in the first
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Well, think about Sharknado with all its stupid sequels. It's still... Come on.
I only watched the first one of that, too. So.
No, you saw the second one because Will Wheaton's in it.
Oh,
come on now. I know you've seen...
Just because of Will Wheaton scene.
Oh, Avengers, Ocean's 11. See, you guys have some good choices. I love those. And see, they like Tremors. Ocean's 11 is such a smooth movie.
I love Ocean's 11.
Oh, and Avengers, all the Avengers, all the Avengers movies.
Except for Ultron. Nah.
I even like that one.
I
I
like
don't care.
Ultron, but not as much as the other one.
It's true. It's true.
They did have Wanda and her brother in it, so everyone likes that character now. So, all right,
Reba is the best in Tremors. It's true.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
That show, man. All right, so
So I just thought when they dubbed it for regular cable TV, because they do swear in that movie. My family used to get the giggles if we watched it on cable because he'd be like, stupid something. And we're like, that is not what he said. So anytime my family was about to swear, they'd be stupid something. And we're just like, I don't know why they dubbed it with something. Who would say that? Why would you dub it like that? Oh gosh, I love Tremors. Oh, fond memories. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, I digress. I just had a watch party with my students a couple weeks ago.
Oh no, there's not going to be a top 10. I completely forgot.
What?
So
what?
So 1 week from tonight is the top 100.
Okay.
Then the week after that is shenanigans because we didn't do much.
We got to do some games and stuff.
Shenanigans tonight.
Yes,
It was mostly just talking about games, which is fine.
Yep.
Then the next week is State of the Channel show.
Oh yeah. You were talking about that. You tease and then you were gonna just eliminate
State
it. Huh?
of the Channel show.
Okay.
Is what? 3 weeks from tonight. 3
STOC.
weeks from tonight. And we're going to talk about stuff. I got some ideas.
SOTC.
To kind of tease it. We're kind of at a crossroads with, are we okay with how the channel's going?
Whoa, are we having this meeting now?
No. It's just a tease so that you guys watch it and think about it. Are we okay with how the channel's going? A small little channel, small community, close-knit. We have glitches and things messing up and cameras shaking when you move the table and things like that, or are we going to actually put the effort to make it more? So that's kind of the thought of the show. So think about that, and we're going to get out of here.
We are. I'm probably going to faceplant right here on this table. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.